Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today is a really fun one because I'm making a windmill canvas. I've recently made one of these before, and so this is my second one I'm doing. I'm doing this for a friend's birthday, and I thought I would record the process so you can see how I made it. I do this over 2 days, and it took me around 2 hours in total, which I think is pretty good. For a really nice finished canvas. So I'm just starting off by popping some paint into my paint palette. I picked this lilac, sage green and a metallic silver. I recently got this paintbrush set, so I was picking out some paintbrushes that I thought I might use, but I actually just used a sponge. I didn't end up using any of these brushes. I just got a round sponge and I cut it into quarters so I can use different times. And before I start my painting, I'm just going to stick some die cuts onto my canvas, and then I paint over the top of them and it creates like a texture. So I just glue these down, and then I'll get my sponge and dab the paint over the top. I'm going to leave the links to the die sets which I've used in the description box. I use the windmill die, and then this little cogs shaped piece is also from the same brand, so I'm gonna pop that one in the description box as well. I love how this works with a sponge, just like dabbing it on, and it creates like an abstract sort of effect. It's when I did my first windmill canvas, it was the first time I tried it and I really love it. I think I want to try doing it on a birthday card. I just got these canvases from Amazon. I can leave them in the description box as well if you'd like to create something similar. They were really good value. I think it was like 5 canvases and it was under £20, which was so good. And on my windmill, I add a little clock mechanism. So the what, I don't know what you call them, like the arms of the windmill. Or like maybe the blades of the windmill will spin around, and I just cut off the clock handles. I also got those on Amazon as well, so I can leave them in the description. My first one I made it for myself. I never normally really make things for myself, but I did make something for myself for our new home, and I made it in like blues and greens, like a teal green. It has some like peach coloured flowers on it. I've got some photos on my Instagram. So I thought I wanted to do this one in different colour scheme. So I thought my friend will like these colours. And then I really want to make another one in pink tones, but I'm not sure who I would gift one to who would like one in pink. And the first one that I've already made, I've put in my living room, so I feel like having one in my living room and one in my craft room is like a bit too much. So this is onto the second day now. I'm just checking that everything's fitting properly, and it's actually brilliant that the hole on top of the windmill, which is already cut out on the die, it fits on the clock mechanism perfectly. So that is so great. Here I'm just measuring out to see where I need to put the mechanism so I can get it in the right place, so the windmill is like central on the canvas where I want it. And I just poke it through gently, like so I don't rip the canvas. And now I've got the hole in place. I add a battery in there and check to see that the cogs are moving. And then I pop the little clock handle in place to make sure that it all works. And yep, it spins around and works perfectly. Next, I add these little clouds on, and then I add some more paint because again with like the cogs, I want them to be in the background with the paint on top, so it looks like added texture. The company that sells this dye were at a craft fair that I went to recently, and they had one of these canvases with the clock mechanism on display. So I absolutely cannot take credit for this. It just inspired me so much that I had to give it a go. And this is obviously my second one that I'm making now, and I've had so much fun making both of them. I definitely want to make some more. My mum's requested that she wants a grey coloured one for her kitchen when she decorates it. And like I say, I really want to do a pink one, so I need to think of someone who would really like a pink one. I wish I could gift these in Happy Mail, but I think they would be too fragile to post out, especially with the spinning bit. You wouldn't really be able to like send it in the post like that. So then I guess the recipient would have to like attach that bit on themselves, so it wouldn't be like a finished gift. So I'm not sure they really would be any good to post, which is a shame because I really would like to gift my crafty friends some. So I'm just adding extra paint over the top of them cloud outlines, and the clouds you do get with the windmill dye, so that's brilliant. You actually get a little mini windmill as well, which is so cute. I love how that looks. And then I kept the centres of the clouds, and I just add these on so these ones look like a little bit bolder, just so they stand out nicely. And I cut them out on some white glitter card to add a little sparkle. So just stick them on with some hot glue. And then next I'm going to move on to assembling my windmill. So for the windmill itself, I'm going to do it in some lilac glitter card, and then the wings I'm doing it in a dark grey glitter card. And I've cut out multiple layers so I can make it like nice and dimensional and make sure it's very sturdy. So for the windmill, I cut out one piece in glitter card, and it's a nice thick glitter card, and then I cut out two pieces in some thick foam, so it's nice and like 3D, standing away from the canvas, not like flat. And then for the wings, there's 4 wings in glitter card, and then I cut out 3 layers of white card for each wing. I'm calling them everything, like wings, arms, blades. I really need to research the actual name for them. So I'm using 3 layers of card so it's nice and strong, because you need it to be nice and strong so it keeps its shape. When I first made my one for my living room, I didn't get it on the wall for ages, and I laid it down flat, and then the wings kept like losing shape, and then they wouldn't turn anymore, which I was really sad about, because I thought, oh, it's not going to work because it's not going to keep spinning all the time. But then I realised when I stand it up and keep it like upright like it would be on the wall, it keeps its shape perfectly. It was just because it was laying down, it was then losing shape. So I'm definitely going to keep this stored standing up so it keeps its shape and keeps how it should be. So I'm glad that I've realised that, because I thought, well, I'm not going to make any more if it doesn't work. But then as soon as I stood it up and shaped it back out, it was absolutely fine. So that was really great. I love just watching it spin on the wall as well. It's like really relaxing. My dog does too as well. She finds it memorising. It's really cute. I'm just using my pokey tool to pop out all of the little window details on the foam. And then I just glue all of the layers together and get ready to assemble the windmill. You also get a little door and some window detail pieces as well. So I cut those out in white so they'll be nice and bold. I need to think of some different projects which I can do with this die as well, so I can make some other things. I've already made a birthday card for my grandma with the small windmill, and I'd love to make some little windmill with a mini die as little crafty embellishments to gift to friends. But with the big windmill, it is very large, so I'm not sure what other things you would use it for really. When we was at the craft fair, I did see them made like a large card with it, and then they like cut the wings or the arms or the blades, they cut them so you could just see like a small amount of them, and they were like sort of hanging off the edge of the card a little bit. So I might try doing a card at some point. If you have any ideas of other projects I can make with this die, I would definitely love to hear them. Inspire me. So I'm just gluing all of these together now, adding all of the layers on them. It is very repetitive to do this, but it was quite therapeutic because I just sit back and relax and watch my programmes, catch up on the week's TV that I've missed. I always love watching TV and listening to music, obviously not at the same time, when I'm crafting. I just find it so relaxing, and it definitely adds to the enjoyment of crafting. So I'm just showing here that it's lovely and thick. That's basically got 4 layers of card in total, and the glue also, like, as it dries, will help it keep its shape as well. I'm using the Belly Art glue because it's got the really fine nozzle on it. It just helps keep the glue exactly where I need it to be. So now I've got them all glued and finished. These are all pieces all assembled now, and now I need to work on getting them onto my canvas. So I'll glue the clock mechanism onto the canvas just using some hot glue. And it's great that the battery is just on the outside, so you can just change the battery and replace it whenever it runs out. And I just slot this on here, and then check that it fits in the right place, and then add some glue to secure that on. I just love that that hole is the perfect size for this. I wonder if the creators of the die did that on purpose, because it is really, really amazing that it just fits perfect. So for the wings, I just glue them on top of each other in the layout that I want them to be. So I need them to be like a cross. I do have a little bit of a mishap with the clock mechanism, which is coming up really shortly. So once I check that's spinning, I just cut the arms off because I only need the top piece so it can spin around. And then I basically just glue the wings onto that little gold circle, which is the moving part. I have to just bend them in place so it will spin around and it won't catch on the windmill. And then very shortly you'll see that something does happen, which I was so confused about. It would not spin and it was just going backwards and forwards. So I kept moving it around and thinking, what's going on here? I was so confused, and I was actually a little bit sad that it wasn't going to work out and then I would have to like waste all of the things I've done already on this. But I took it off and then I soon realised that the glue had actually spilled down from on the gold circle part. So the glue was like catching and it was stopping it from moving. So I just took it off and I added less glue this time, and then it was working perfectly, thankfully. So after I'd done this, I've assembled all of the windmill. Now it's time to do a little flower cluster on the bottom. So I picked out some flowers which I thought was going to fit the colour scheme well. And I also cut some of these little sprig pieces in some white glitter card, so I could add some of them amongst my flowers. This is a die from Craftalia. I love my little mini scissors, it's so handy. I just break it apart so I can have multiple little pieces, and then I can add that amongst the flowers. And I cut another set, so I just did like 2 sets in total. This one I cut out lots of times to make sure it was fully cut because the other one wasn't quite fully cut. The windmill looks like it's spinning really fast, but it's because the speed is on 4 times the amount. So it's actually a lot slower. I think it would be a bit too much if it spun this fast. It would definitely be making you feel dizzy having that on your wall. So I added these cream flowers on first. These were really glittery. And then I added these blue ones and some leaves. These are from Prima Flowers. Is that the name? I don't think it is. Oh, I just checked. Yes, that is the right product name. I got it right for once. Love these flowers so much. I didn't have many coloured flowers which were going to go with this colour scheme. So at first I was just trying to use these ones, but then I soon realised I need to definitely add some more in. So I picked out these purple ones from my handmade flower stash. These are being gifted to me by crafty friends, and these were the perfect finishing touch. I just really needed something else to break it up because it was just too many of the same flower. Add some of the little leaves in, and then add the white sprigs at the end as well. I've also got these little teeny tiny mini flowers. I just try and set out like a rough layout of what I want, and then I go in and glue them all. And then when I'm gluing them, I usually like change things a little bit. And I do this while the wings are spinning because I need to make sure that nothing's gonna like obstruct them. I really enjoy making the flower cluster. It's definitely one of the more fun parts of this. So I'm just adding the finishing touches of the little white sprigs now. I feel like it really just like sets it apart and gives a little extra detail. I just think it finishes off perfectly. And this is my project all finished. I am really happy with how it turned out, and I think that my friend will really like it, so I'm really excited to gift it to her. I hope that you enjoyed seeing this process, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.